This was a little bit of a surprise. I didn't expect
We're
all
now
these
streaming
shenanigans.
live. We're
Woohoo!
now streaming live.
Yay, we are streaming live. Woo! Hi, everybody. Just gives me a second here. We're a little novice with the webinar feature of Zoom, even though I thought I knew Zoom very, very well. Here we are. Oh, how fun is that? Excellent. Okay, so it's on one computer, and I'm going, and away we go. Just get back to you guys. So welcome everyone to the opening day of Intuitive Leadership University on 11/11/2020. Today a magical portal opens, and this day is all about prosperity. This day is all about opening the doors in your life to all of the good stuff that is supposed to come. Not supposed to come, that will come once you open your heart. Once you get really clear on those things that you want to attract to yourself. And I want to welcome my amazing panel of experts that is going to help you do that. These are the experts that are behind the scenes in the mastermind group, the Limitless Prosperity Mastermind group that we will be creating within Intuitive Leadership University. And these specific women are women that I hand selected to be part of the university because of their love of spirituality and their amazing tactical and practical insights to growing a business. So they truly are practical business mystics because they are masters at integrating the practical, tactical, and logical with the emotional, the energetic, and the spiritual. Each of them have a specific topic that they're going to be sharing with you, and they all have a gift to share that I'm going to give you the link at the end of the webinar. So the one person I would love to start with is Laura Rubinstein, because she's got a hard stop and I want to make sure you get all of her juicy information. And Laura is the queen of social media and marketing. Laura has been in my life for, well, all of these women have been part of my world for a very long time. But Laura, she just loves social media. She loves marketing. She loves teaching. She's the podcast queen. And Laura, I would love for you to please introduce yourself to everyone.
Well, hi, everyone. It's so great to be here with you. And thanks, Terry, for putting us all together and putting this program together for everyone to, grow their business on all levels of their life, not just profit. I think so many people talk about profit only, and there's way more to that. And even though I'm a marketer and I want you to be profitable, I want you to also have a happy life and a balanced life and a business that resonates with you, so it's sustainable, so it's profitable, and it feels really good to you, and it's serving the world in a way that that elevates humanity, right? And that's what I'm passionate about, taking people who are maybe frustrated with technology, they don't love it, but they are passionate about their message and they know that technology is the way. Like they've got to get their website out, they've got to get on a podcast, they've got to get out there in a bigger way online on social media. And my, practical magical gift is to help them do it, make it easy for them, and help them love technology, even though they don't have to be that technological. So we do that as an agency here. I also have the Social Buzz Club, which helps get the word out about you for you, and with our gamified content sharing platform. And you know what? Social media is ever changing. And the key, if I can leave anybody with a key to take away, is that we have to accept that. It's not like you're done. You're going to learn it and you're going to be done. Because the minute you think that, the minute you get frustrated. Because you're like, I already learned that. Yeah, you did. And now, but just like life, we're always learning. There's so much more to learn. And so we just have to embrace the fact that social media, that technology is always going to change. And
Yes,
then you'd be
it
much
is.
happier if you just accept that and not like fight
Yeah.
against it. Like, why did they change this? Well, because that's what they do.
And that really can be quite frustrating because I know for myself, and all of you have been listening to me, I've been learning all these different pieces of software. And it's like just when I get a handle on it, to create the Intuitive Leadership U, just when I get a handle on it, they decide to change it all.
That's right. But don't get frustrated. I was like, oh, another change, something more for me to learn. And that's why I have that attitude, and I can bring that to your business for you, so you don't have to learn everything, so you feel more empowered in the things you do want to learn. And we are bringing out your message, your courses, your speaking engagements, whatever it is, your business online, e-commerce, in a flow that makes sense to users. I find that the biggest issue that experts have right now when they're trying to bring their message out is that they're the expert. It's the biggest problem. They want to start healing people right now, but they have to meet people where they're at in their marketing. So I like to give the example. I'm also a certified hypnotherapist. And as a hypnotherapist, I am trained to never use the word lose weight. Right? Why? Because the brain doesn't want to, when you hear lose, you want to find it, right? So we never want to use that word as a hypnotherapist. But as a marketer, what do people want? They want to lose weight. So we're going to use it
Yeah.
in our marketing, and then we're going to teach them to not use it once they become a client, but not before. So you don't, so there's like this expertise I have that I have to hold back because you're not ready to hear it as a prospect, right? As a potential market. What you are ready to hear is that I understand where you've been at. You haven't been able to lose weight. You've tried everything in the book. You've tried diets. You've tried exercise programs. You've tried, meditation. You've tried water diets, whatever it is, the latest fad shakes, the olive oil thing, whatever it is, the master cleanse, nothing's working, right? And I know the why it's not working. And I have a key and a solution to help you finally gain, or not gain, we wouldn't use the word gain, finally achieve the weight you want to, right? So then in market, so that's my ability also, is to help experts bring their message out in a compelling way that draws their market to them. So that's where we start, and then we use all the tech. So I hope that gives you kind of what I'm passionate about.
So, Laura, what is the one biggest piece of advice? You already talked about not getting frustrated with tech changing as much as it is. What's your one biggest piece of advice when it comes to either social media or marketing?
Well, after you've embraced technology, you have to be clear on your message, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
got to, and I have this ebook called Find the Crave, Get the Rave. You have to find what people are craving and talk to that. So it kind of follows on what I was just saying, was you don't want to start giving them your expertise until they know that you can give them the result of your expertise.
Got it. Nice, nice, nice. So, can you talk a little bit about the gift, the free gift that everybody's going to be getting at the end of the webinar?
Did I give you my Crave book or my LinkedIn strategy? Which one did I give you?
Oh,
I
have
think I
to
gave you
ask
the
me.
Crave book, but I don't know.
You know what? I
And
don't remember. I
But you can go to my website. Well, the Crave book is that what I was just talking about. Find the Crave, get the rave, and that's at transformtoday.com. Well, you have a link, right? You have a link.
Yes, yes.
You have a
Everybody's
link.
going to have a link to all of the gifts, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
think,
think
yeah.
that's the one that we're gonna give.
And I
That it's really
apologize.
gonna help them.
We've had so many changes at the last minute. It was like, oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
it was actually Social Savvy Media Blueprint.
Oh, the blueprint. Well, that's even better. So, yes, the Savvy Social Media Blueprint will start getting you to think, where do you need to be and what do you want to do on each network? Because you don't have to be on all networks, though it can't hurt if you're already there. But if you hate certain networks, again, take a deep breath. You hate them for what's there, but you can make a shift. You can change what's there by putting your positive light, energy, love, and good work that helps people there. And that's what I want to see. I want to see more good people doing social good on social networks. And
Brilliant.
so that's what the Savvy Social Media Blueprint, Marketing Blueprint will help you with.
And I'm going to ask you one question that I'm asked a lot. Is there a best time to post?
Yes, but you want to do testing on that. You can Google best time to post on each network, and but it actually varies quite a bit from your market, depending on your market and location. It could even vary on location. So no, there's not one answer of like post every Tuesday at 12, but there are different times at different days. If you Google it, you'll find six different articles that say six different things.
Okay.
So, but really it's about testing. And so if you, for example, if you're on Facebook, you have insights on your Facebook page, on your business pages, and it will show you when you're getting the most reach. So pay attention. Start out being consistent with your posting like frequency, and you might try
Mhm.
different times on different days and see which days and which times get the most impact, because your audience is different than the general audience, because
Mhm.
people are on Facebook all day long and all night long. But
Mhm.
your audience is likely there at a certain time, and you have to find that out for yourself. And you can Google and see what other people have found for themselves and borrow that and see if that works and start there.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. And as you can see, why I asked the amazing Laura Rubinstein to be part of the Limitless Prosperity Mastermind, and she will be coaching the mastermind once a month and helping you with your social media and your marketing strategy. So it's really exciting to have you on board, Laura. I'm really, really pleased with that.
Great to
So
know.
let's stay more with the hard technical stuff. So Venessa, I'm going to jump to you. Venessa is an Emmy Award winning creative producer. She's a rock star. So, Venessa, can you share with us a little bit about what you do and how you can help the Intuitive Leadership U students with
Well,
their virtual and live platforms?
this is exciting. It's my first experience with all of you. So hello, the world, and hello to this amazing panel. Thank you for having me here. But what I'm excited about is I can bring a little bit of insight from my experience of the 20 years I've been into the television entertainment world, right? So the world has changed, and I think it's awesome in a way, right? Because it's shaking it up. It's shaking it up because we've been in 8 months of, for me, and I think all of us, is innovation, right? And what I can bring to the world is it's time to create. We're seeing entrepreneurs grow. That's why I'm so excited about this webinar, because so many people are like learning to like go out on social media and build their own dream of being their own boss. And it's all on a virtual landscape. And so for events and content and marketing, it's a great time, right? We're shaking it up. We're doing things we've never done before. And so what I want you all to know is not to be afraid. Like Laura said, don't be afraid, right? We learn by doing. Let's just do, and just like not be afraid and overthink things. Just like go and do it. And so what I can bring to the table is this. We got to get creative. We got to get creative. And if you're like, oh, I don't got the creative juices, then you need to proximity, like have people around you, or look for people like our team that will give that mind and spirit, because it's all about getting that fire, getting that energy among people, and events is the place for that. Now you think events, virtual events, right? Anything that's an online experience in terms of an event is a virtual event. It could be as simple as a webinar, something that we're doing right now, right? We're calling this our mini summit. That's free. It's a way to bring in leads. It's a way to kind of get people going, ooh, I connect with this team. I need to do business with them. I need to grow. That's what it's all about. We need to connect. So don't be afraid. You don't have to do a huge event. You can start small if you're a small business and start engaging differently on a virtual online level. So what I would like to bring to the table is content. I think that content is king, and social media is a big thing for that, right? So I have an awesome gift, and I have some key things that I want to kind of like sprinkle and let you know what's worked for me. First step for like that virtual magic, you gotta strategize and pre-plan, right? Brain dump it all. Just write it out, kind of think what you want to do, right? Prepare and think about that physical event. What's that dream event? What do you want to do? We have to engage. So you have to bring it all full circle. So sorry, I lost my track here. Now you got to think about your theme. You got to think about maybe message map a little bit, kind of put it all like together. Like Terry and I last week, we connected and we did all this whole messaging mapping, and it was so cool because you start seeing everything visually, and sometimes we got to visualize it and see it to believe it, right? So we got to do that. technology, like Laura mentioned, technology is king, but don't be afraid. I mean, there's so much out there and we can help you. If you get the right team, we can guide you and help you on what's been working, what other people are doing. Because right now, it's like it's experimental, like everybody's like experimenting and figuring things out. And that's okay. That's cool. Zoom is a great platform to kind of start off if you need to. It could be free. You can do different levels. So kind of think about your technology, right? Then we have to define your marketing plan, right? Your strategy on how you're going to promote this event. Okay, so that is a part of the whole thing. So you got to strategize and plan. That's like the first step. Then we got to go into let the word out, promote it, right? If you already have an idea what you have, you got to promote it. And there's so many ways to promote, so many fun and easy ways to do it. So what do we got to do? So you got to engage, right? You got to talk to them. You got to feel real. You got to be raw. Don't be afraid and just be yourself and do something cool and different. Launch an event tray, maybe a little video from your phone if you have to. If you don't have a big budget, use your phone. That is content. Put some bullet points out, put a couple of pictures you can get on, easy little stock, easy things you can find on different apps, and create an easy video to promote what you're gonna launch and do. Think about your agenda. Think about little teasers that you can sprinkle and promote through an email drip campaign or through social media, through your stories, through your feeds or Facebook, however, what works for you and that you've been doing, and make it user friendly. Maybe you do like a landing page, or maybe you do something really, really simple on a Facebook flyer or some sorts, but you got to kind of get the word out. So also I have two more steps, content, right? So I did talk about content. And so a virtual event derives from content. So when you're doing your event, you got to think about maybe like a TV show in a sense. Don't get scared, but just think of things that kind of get you visually like excited and engaged. Okay, and that's where you bring a team that can help you. And you got to engage. Why? Because when you're in a virtual event, you have this that's kind of like going to distract you, right? Or you have your child, or you have little things here and there. So you have to think of gamification. You got to think of engagement. You can't be a talking head the whole time. I'm telling you right now, that's not going to work. Music, even like a starter music, getting people excited and shaking it up. Or even like questions. Hey, how are we feeling? Send me an emoji. Talk to me. Then all of a sudden you see all that power and the energy. You're like, whoa, we're shaking it up, right? So you gotta think outside the box. Q&As, polls, vivid presentations, not a lot of text. Eye's the limit. Keep it eye candy. A lot of wow factor and eye candy. And then after that community that was there, that's power. That's gold right there. That's your nugget. Capture them, do a community, do another thing, do some emails, do something to capture them, keep them there, because that's the seed. You're planting your seeds. Events are planting seeds or educating, so much more. But that's a little bit of virtual magic I wanted to share, everybody. And I'm here for you. My company's called The Collective. I really focus too on the Hispanic end. I've worked in the Hispanic media for over 20 years, so I really know how to talk to that audience. So I love fire, I love life. So if you need me, I'm here.
Okay, Venessa, what a firecracker you are. Latina Juices is coming right out, and we sit there and we talk, and it's like half Spanglish. It's like,
yeah, that's me.
So, Venessa, the one thing you didn't do was tell us about your background. Why are you so excited about everything you do, and how is it that you are qualified to share with us all of this amazing stuff? Because you really are a rock star, and I want to make sure that people understand your background, or really get to know you and your background.
I've been in the business in television entertainment for 23 years, and it's been a ride. I've won an Emmy, and my career has been by learning and doing, and people giving me opportunities, and they just come for me. I've worked with Gloria and Emilio Stefan for over 12 years. And what was cool working with them, it was this boutique company that basically had a lot of entertainment from a record label. I was in the record label business, and it was a starting record label. So I learned all the know-how of that. I worked in television productions. I have produced productions for Target, for Home Depot, for all these big brands. I've experienced that. I won an Emmy for a show on Telemundo. It was a lifestyle show, music countdown, travel show. I've worked with Obama and Gloria Stefan doing a Christmas special. I've been exposed to artists from all around the world, doing major productions with them. And I've worked in Telemundo. I've worked in a Desperate America, which was 5 years working with brands like Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, Clorox, so many brands, and basically worked on news you can use content, and really leverage what works for the audience, but at the same time helps a brand grow. So I've done branded entertainment as well. So then I also worked in corporate events, which is becoming my passion now. I want to bring in the television side of things, but into a corporate event environment, because I love brands, but I love television. So creating that rundown, creating the experience, the emotion. I bring the corporate end, I bring the television end, and I also have the Hispanic multicultural side of things too, that I understand the Hispanic audience. It's very different from the general market. So it's a little bit of what I've done, and it's been a great ride so far. And I'm on my own now, so I'm excited. This is a new experience and venture for me, finally.
And Venessa is working with me for our 2-day event, which hopefully everybody here is going to be able to present in January, called I Shift Today. And we are going to have a lot of fun getting all of our, with this little mini summit, we are going to be expanding and doing a lot of teaching, a lot of educational type things to really help you grow your business. And I Shift Today, Venessa is going to help me get that out there. So I'm very excited. Yes,
exciting.
That was part of what came up last week. It was a lot of fun. And
it was.
Well, what can I say? Now let's go to our next nuts and bolts queen, Sherre.
Hey there. Well, it's a pleasure to be here, Terry, and I'll tell you, so many familiar faces here that I'm very honored to be among you. I have to say this to everyone that's around the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's all about economic vitality. It's all about economic vitality for entrepreneurs. I've been signing my emails that way for years, and I've always believed that. And through every crisis that this country, and now we've seen around the globe most recently, I continue to validate and reaffirm what makes a company literally crisis proof. And no matter what is happening, you're still thriving. You're still making things happen. And so part of what I was going to share today were what I've seen as the top five ways to crisis proof your business. And I guess the very first thing, I know Laura was talking about profitability, and it isn't all about profitability, but where I see businesses, the very number one thing that really hit home most recently this year, this lovely 2020 we've endured, or enjoyed, or embraced, or actually leveraged beyond what we thought we could. Okay, so listen to what I just said there. And it is about how a company leverages its profits. And over the years, what I have learned is companies that really understand how to thrive against all odds are able to always put their profits in 4 different buckets at all times. So, and I call it the profitability quotient. So a company can actually have a very high level of profits, but not a high profitability quotient. Why? Because they're not putting their profits in these 4 buckets. So the 4 buckets are: they need to reserve. And what has been proven to me time and time again, so think about this one, is you want to reserve at least 12 months worth of your profits to grow to 12 months worth of operating expenses. Now, for businesses that did that, they didn't panic quite as much with everything that happened starting this year, right? Because they had some operating expenses. But again, here's the thing. You also have to not only reserve, but you also want to share your profits. And what I talk, and this is where I talk about what prosperity really is, and why I call entrepreneurship the economic vitality. And this also speaks to what Laura was alluding to, is entrepreneurs have a way of making a huge difference in big and small ways. And so it's not just sharing in your own little pockets. It's also about sharing with your employees, with your customers, with the marketplace, maybe even with your industry. And so companies that are sharing in all those ways, boy, do you think they have some really goodwill and some really good connections and some really good relationships? And yeah, I think they do. Okay, then you have the third aspect, reinvesting in the business to build, to continue to build capacity and to continue to build, the ability to continue to grow. And then the fourth way is to put profits into building value and worth in your company. One of the biggest things that I have seen that has become my huge passion is businesses that don't think they have anything worth buying. And that just breaks my heart, because everyone who is in business for themselves should be and can be building something of great value and worth and true prosperity for all. So that's the number one thing that I definitely saw, especially in this past year, that could have helped many companies pivot more effectively. Now, the second thing is in regard to leveraging all your resources. So I've been talking about this for years. Most people think resources is money, okay? And in my book, my first book, Me, Myself, and Inc., one of the chapters was, it takes money to make money, unless you don't have it. Then what do you do, right? Well, then it's when you need to leverage other three resources that are always available to you. And that is time. Time is a true asset. That is other people and their time. Technology, boy, have we been hearing that today, right? Technology, and then money. And one of the things I've been doing for years is I would sit around the table and my competitors would end up losing against me because all they cared about was the budget that the company had. And I asked, how are you using people? How are you using time? How are you leveraging technology? And they would say, why aren't you asking what our budget is? And I'd say, because if you're not leveraging those three, chances are you're spending your money in all the wrong ways, or you don't really have a solid understanding of what you should be budgeting for. And so think about the aspect of what we've had to shift to with the technology. Companies that were definitely leveraging people, time, and technology when money was a little bit feeling like they needed to be careful because they didn't know what money was coming in. They didn't know what to expect around the corner because there were things that were out of their control, right? Out of all of yours control, but they could still leverage technology because they had been leveraging it, and then they could take it to a whole nother level. They had strong relationships with people, so they could collaborate and get really creative on how they could pivot, how they could shift, how they could take advantage. And then they really looked at how they were spending their time. And what's really interesting about all of this is, haven't we all really appreciated our time more effectively? Over this past 12 months, we really have embraced the value of our time, I think, more than anything else. And so then let's look at, okay, what else do crisis-proof companies do? They also, what I call, they have multiple streams of opportunities. Now, you've heard multiple streams of income, and that's one of them. Okay, so there's multiple streams of income. There isn't an income source that limits them. Okay, but then what you have to do to create multiple streams of income is you have to have multiple streams of target markets. Focus. Now, this is focused opportunities, people. This isn't about being all things to all people. But if you really understand, like what Laura was talking about, what do they crave, and what will engage them, as Venessa was talking about. And you really get inside their head, almost like the FBI gets inside of a serial killer. I'm telling you, but it's true. So that they are really, they feel like you're inside their head, right? But there are multiple segments that you can do that with your offerings. So you have multiple streams of income because of your offerings, you have multiple, you're not relying on just one market segment. And then also you're not having one particular customer be too much of your overall business. All right. Because what happens if you lose that customer or have a particular market segment that is too much of your overall business? And what happens if you lose that market segment? That can really hurt. And so those multiple streams of opportunities speak to income, offerings, and your target market. And then the next thing I will say, the fourth point, is what I call agility acumen. And when you are always looking, when you're strategically looking at what's next, then you're going to be prepared when you get disruptive, because you are thinking disruptively anyway. All right. So, and this is what I love. I love to help entrepreneurs know, no matter what business you're in, that you can disrupt even when you're disrupted. And so the whole idea around that is always looking at what's next, whether it's what I call trend getting, or whether it's data mining your own information so that you can see what people aren't seeing, that you can provide that nobody else is providing. And so what was really interesting is I've seen, clients of mine and companies around the world that actually launched things during all of this because they were ready and they could. All right. And then they saw it as not a time to wait, but a time to truly put it out there, because people need something to be excited about. That goes back to Venessa's talking about innovation. Did you realize, and I know this is a global, but I encourage you to Google the top countries, the most innovative countries since COVID hit. It's fascinating. Based on intellectual property, patents have been filed. United States is number 3. We've got Sweden, we've got Switzerland, we've got Germany, we've got Japan. So isn't that fascinating? When trouble hits, when disruption hits, when unexpected things hit, innovation goes out the roof, right? And so the final thing is related to strategy, okay? And okay, people have strategy, that just sounds like a lot of work. But it's not, because if you're focusing on strategy from a standpoint of economic vitality, I actually have a formula around that. It's taking your IQ, intelligence quotient, plus your EQ, the emotional quotient. Yes, a business has an emotional quotient too, not just an individual person, plus your VQ, the velocity quotient, but that is times PQ, the profitability quotient. Now, and that gives you economic vitality and the ability to thrive. Most businesses never get out of the IQ quotient. They know what they know, but they don't know what they don't know. So they never get out of the IQ. So they can't embrace the EQ, other people, team members, strategic relationships, their customers as effectively as they can. And if you don't have that high IQ and high EQ, then you can't have the high velocity quotient, be able to get things done, to be able to take action versus reaction, and all of that stuff. But the most powerful aspect is not looking at it plus PQ, but looking at it as times PQ. Because times PQ means that, again, you're leveraging all 4 areas of allocation for profit. So you are in a position to always be moving forward, what I call making momentum building decisions versus constantly taking step backs to move forward. So those are my top 5, and I have probably about 50 of them, so, or more. So what my gift is an economic vitality assessment. It's actually an assessment so you can see how well you're doing as a company in building economic vitality. And I have to say, I always love when someone asks for a free gift, because it just inspires me to create something. So this was actually created specifically for this. And it just because it was on my list of things to do. So you just kind of kicked me in the rear a little bit, Terry, and I got it done. So that's all I've got to say. I've been doing this. I've been working with entrepreneurs for 36 years and counting, and have loved every minute of it. I think you can tell I'm a little bit passionate about it.
Well, all of us are passionate. Look at Laura. My gosh, she was coming at her. I mean, she was just right in there. And then my little Spanish wonder here, Vanessa, like I said, the two of us, with my Cuban perspective and her perspective, and then add you to the mix. Okay. It gets
That's
a
why I
little,
love being in this world, in this room. You ladies are just absolutely amazing. It's a real honor to be with you here.
so it's, there's a lot here, and there's so much more to come because I'm going to go to Rhoberta. Rhoberta, and you knew that because she was already unmuted. Rhoberta has a knack of reading my mind. Rhoberta's been in my life for a very long time. I love Rhoberta. And Rhoberta, I'm going to ask you to share about what it is that you actually do. Dr. Rhoberta Shaler is on the floor.
Well, thank you. And I love you too. I certainly won't be in the woohoo department here. I'm going to talk about relationships. And what's more basic to life than relationship? Nobody lives in a vacuum. Nobody exists in a void. So learning how to understand our relationship with ourselves and our relationship with other humans is basic to being able to know what to do when you write a marketing message, when you reach out to make a phone call, when you want to come home to somebody, all of those things. So I've written 16 books. One of them is called Wrestling Rhinos, Conquering Conflict in the Wilds of Work. So I know a thing or two about that. I used to be a corporate trainer and speaker, helping people manage conflict in all kinds of organizations, including the United States Marines. So we've had a few wonderful opportunities to solve problems. So the focus of my work currently is that I help people successfully navigate the journey from recognizing to recovering and rebuilding after toxic relationships. Unfortunately, in our world, the research shows that there are more and more toxic folks in the world. They may not be diagnosable, and that doesn't matter at all. And just to prove that point, I decided that too many people were going to the Google goddess and putting in what the problem was with their partner, and then they were getting a clinical diagnosis. And no, you're not a mental health professional. Don't be attaching clinical diagnoses to people you're having difficulty with. So I trademarked a term for the patterns, traits, cycles, and behavior of these people so we could talk about it. And that term is hijackals. And hijackals are people who hijack relationships for their own purposes and then relentlessly scavenge them for power, status, and control. And I bet you know a couple. Maybe they were your parents. Maybe they were a partner. Maybe we're that strange uncle that came to holiday parties. But you know somebody, or you've worked with them, or you've sat next to them in a cubicle. And these toxic relationships can be head shaking, gut wrenching, heartbreaking, and soul destroying. And it's really important for us to know how to recognize them, then to recognize what's going on. So, my contribution to what we're doing here is to look at the basic things that are really important to healthy adult relationships. I have a podcast called Save Your Sanity, Help for Toxic Relationships. And so we're in 80 countries now, which is kind of exciting. And one of the things that I talk about always, and for those of you who care, go to episode 115, and you will hear the 3 must-haves of a healthy adult relationship. Doesn't matter whether that's with your parents, with your partner, with the person down the block. In order to have a healthy relationship, you have to have some level of this. Now, not a high level when you're talking to the cashier in the grocery store, but the people closer to you. And those 3 things are equality, reciprocity, and mutuality. Those are the very bedrock of a healthy relationship. Without those things, not going anywhere good, and certainly not going to be helpful to your sense of well-being. So look for those 3: equality, reciprocity, and mutuality. And then from my book, Kaizen for Couples, we put on top of that the 5 relational gifts. Now think about this. You can't give a gift you don't have. I could want to give it to you. I could wish I could give it to you, but if I don't have it, I can't give it to you. That's why I call it the relational gifts, because you have to develop them within yourself so that you have them to give. And those 5 relational gifts are honesty, safety, trust, respect, and reliability. So if we put down the 3 must-haves, equality, reciprocity, and mutuality, and then set on top of that honesty, safety, trust, respect, and reliability, just imagine what a team we would build. Imagine how that would work in the workplace. Imagine how that would work at home around the kitchen table or in the bedroom. Very important things for us to look at. So, understanding how we communicate well, how we solve problems well, how we mediate our difficulties, how we negotiate with other human beings in ways that bring us all something that we want. These are important things. So I have 2 gifts for you. One of them is my free ebook, just in case you think you got one of those hijackals in your life. It's called How to Spot a Hijackal. And so you'll find that at hijackals.com, which is no doubt in the notes. And the other thing is I create checklists so that you can have a quick way of finding things. So when you go to my website, forrelationshiphelp.com, and you click on checklists, you will see there is a passive aggressive checklist, a relationship checklist, a personal integrity checklist, and the last one, of course, is my partner a toxic hijackal checklist? So those are there for you. And that's what I'm up to in the world. And to answer the question that you asked, Laura, what do I think is the most important thing I could share? Always believe behavior. When you're in a relationship, believe the behavior. And if the words match, it's a bonus.
Very interesting. I love that last part. If the words match the behavior. That's pretty brilliant. Thank you for that, Rhoberta. Thank you for all of it. That was really, really great. And now you can see, folks, why Rhoberta is part of the Intuitive Leadership U team. Because to be able to work through relationships in our businesses, in our personal lives, it allows us to grow and expand in really great ways when we own our own relationship with ourselves, as well as the relationship of those people who are around us. So I love the term hijackals. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I've shared it with so many people. She's been on my show, Awaken the Possibilities, a few times, as has Laura and has Sherre and has MarBeth. They've been on the podcast. And when you talk about relationships like that, I always learn something new from you, Rhoberta. Always. I mean, it's just absolutely cool. It's really great. And she's going to be helping to coach in the Limitless Prosperity Mastermind, which we will be launching in January at the I Shift Today 2-day event. So thank you so much for that, Rhoberta. I absolutely appreciate you. And from there, we're going into more amazing evolvement with MarBeth Dunn. MarBeth is an energy management expert. So share with us, MarBeth, what is an energy management expert?
I'm actually changing it, Terry, to energy management, intuitive energy management maven, because I like it warmer. So basically what I do, I have a vast training in different types of energy healing and consciousness shifting technology and modalities. And I'm also a Kundalini yoga instructor. So I'm more of the woo end of the intuitive leadership university. But it's really, really important that we incorporate the woo part of us. And what does that mean? You know, we are basically holistic beings. We look like we're solid. You know, we look like we're solid beings, right? You can feel it. But we're all made out of atoms. Everybody would agree to that, right? I mean, that's science. We are made out of atoms. But what are atoms? Atoms are 99.999% space. And that space is pure potential. That space is pure energy. That space is pure spirit. So if you took all the matter in our body and from the atoms and you condensed it, it would be smaller than an apple seed. So we are really pure potential. And these bodies that we are in have amazing wisdom to share with us. And we can tap into the power of the universe to shift into areas that we might not have thought that we could. And all of this, and I really want to thank Rhoberta, because this is building on relationships. We have relationships to our body. We have relationships to our career. We have relationships to each other, but we have relationships to the universe, to God, source, the universe. And in these relationships, you know, is it me to them? Is it them to me? We can explore them and really become aware of who we are. Who are we? Who are we? We are these amazing beings. We are pure potential. We just discovered that, you know, through the analysis of the atoms, right? We are pure potential energy. And our bodies are amazing communication devices. They have, well, acupuncturists use them. We have all of these energy meridians. We have chakras that are centers of energy in our body. Now, this has all been demonstrated. It's not something I'm making up. It's been known for thousands of years in yoga and through acupuncture, Chinese medicine. And all of these centers in our body give us information. And in Kundalini Yoga, we learned that we are actually 10 bodies. Now you're wondering, what does all of this have to do with my business? What does this have to do with my career? Well, if any of these energy centers are blocked in your body, and we have an energetic body and an emotional body, and when we have emotions, they normally would flow in and out of our body like rain, clouds, you know, we could have a little storm, and then normally they would just flow in and out. We might feel something for a little bit and then it dissolves. But when you experience a trauma, when you experience something that is unresolved energy, perhaps from when you were a child, that can get stuck in your physical body. And that stuck energy can prevent your financial success. It can block your ability to attract the clients that you want, the business that you want. It can actually keep you physically stuck. And so it's really important to become aware of, where am I holding this stuff in my body? Now, I happen to be blessed with the gift of being an empath and an intuitive. And for a long time, I thought I thought there was something really wrong with me. I didn't recognize the power of this gift because we don't really come with a handbook. We don't come with a way to figure out what it is. But, and I couldn't go to parties without being overwhelmed by other people's energy. But now I know that as holographic beings, we basically are patterns of energy and information. And through that energy and information, we can learn to navigate what it is that we want to create. We become aware of, where am I holding this in my body? Am I stuck because of some old grief that I'm holding in my chest? Am I stuck because of relationship issues that I'm holding in my solar plexus or my second chakra? These issues can keep us stuck. And when they're clear and when everything is flowing freely, then we start to become very expanded and to attract what it is that we want in our business and in our whole lives. So my gift are my miracle minutes. I have been nichifying, and I'm working with divorced women who are seeking romance, um, and helping them, guiding them through many of the obstacles that they have developed within their lives, and help them to just part the Red Sea and to move through and create what you want. And so as a gift, I have my Miracle Minutes. They're 10 very short little videos that every one of them has a gem of wisdom to bring you into a more of a miracle-minded place. See, we are getting a little woo, but that's a way that you can start to clear some of the blocks, some of the issues that are keeping you stuck, so that you can actually move through them and shift your mind, move into more of a miracle space, and you start to attract all the positive things in your life, which is really important.
And what I know about MarBeth, and MarBeth and I have been friends for a very, very long time, is that she can see things and feel things where it is just absolutely amazing. I'll be sitting there at the table, and all of a sudden I'll get this phone call. Are you okay? It's like, ah. So when she says she's an empath, she's an empath. She's an absolute amazing, wonderful healer. Thank you so much, MarBeth. I mean, I wouldn't be here today, by the way, folks, if it wasn't for a lot of the work that MarBeth has done with me to assist me in being front and center with all of you today. So thank you so very much. You are definitely a game changer when it comes to what the work that we're going to be doing with Intuitive Leadership University. So last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, tis I. And why did I create Intuitive Leadership University? First of all, it's been a 7-year dream. 7 years I've been wanting to do this. It's been very, very special for me. I did own the Winds of Change Holistic Education and Leadership Center, which was a brick and mortar education center where the acronym was Holistic Education and Leadership. When you put that together, it's the HEAL Network, the HEAL Center. So since 2001, when I opened it, which was 10 days before 9/11, oh, by the way, since then, I have been passionate about integrating what I had mentioned earlier, the practical, tactical, and logical with the emotional, the energetic, and the spiritual. I got certified during that time frame in between 1999 and 2001 as a certified executive coach, certified coactive coach, certified in heart math, because what I found was that after burning out multiple times, I, as an entrepreneur, knew that there were so many other entrepreneurs who were going through what I was going through. And in getting all of those certifications, it really pushed me into creating this leadership piece, because I've been all about leadership. I owned a manufacturing company. I owned an image consulting company. And this is on Veterans Day, I'm a military spouse. My husband is retired Navy, and my daughter is active duty Navy. And, all of those things amplifies who I am as an individual and leadership. Leadership is part of my DNA. It is a really big deal. And to assist entrepreneurs to really connect with all of these components and to bring these amazing people together to assist me to help you, it's really a big, 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 big deal, because it's time. As practical business mystics, and my topic today is intuitive networking. This group came about because of networking. This group came about because we have connected, interacted, assisted one another. We have made referrals to one another. And that's what intuitive networking is really all about. It's about being grounded in your body, which all of us, by the way, these 5 women who are working with me, all of them are as woo as MarBeth. Just want to let you know that. Right? Just not their focus. I work with Sherre, and we're like Pendulum City, USA. So we're all living in the land of woo. It's just that MarBeth, that's her specialty, and really gets into it and brings up all the energy blocks in a very powerful way. And when we network together and intuitively, we know who we want to refer to. Referral-based marketing is huge, and referrals grow your business. And in order to get a great referral, you need to, I don't like to use the word need. It's about creating, because need is about lack. It's about creating trust and belief and safety, which Rhoberta was talking about safety, bringing those elements in so that people know that when they interact with you, it's genuine. You're going to be there for them, and they're going to be there for you because you stay top of mind. They're going to remember you. They're going to remember how you made them feel. They're going to remember what it is that you help them to achieve. Because when you help people get the results that they want, especially when you are networking, you are growing and expanding not only yourself, but you are expanding the people around you in mind, body, and spirit. So helping them grow their businesses to get the results that they want, that's what all of these women here are doing. They are helping you get the results that you want. And a lot of that stems in law of attraction. The energy that you put out is the energy that you attract back. And with law of attraction, that's part of my gift, which are different steps, 15 different steps on how to magnify your business and elevate the energy to really bring more of what you want and less of what you don't want. So I'd like to review with you the gifts that we will be sending all of you who have registered. Whoops, if I can get back into this computer. Okay, it doesn't want to do that. Come on. Okay, I'm going to ask all of you to just share. Vanessa, let me share. Can you, because for some reason I can't get in here. Can you share your gift? Okay, there we go, I got it. Go ahead.
All right, so my gift is how to create virtual magic. So I'm going to give you the 4 steps to a successful virtual event. That's what I'm going to give you.
Thank you. And Laura?
Mine is the Savvy Social Media Marketing Blueprint, where you're going to get a compass and where to start with your social media and optimize them.
Brilliant. And Rhoberta?
2 things: how to spot a hijackal ebook and access to my 4 checklists. And then you can find out how your relationship's doing, whether you're with a hijackal partner, whether you're living your personal integrity, or if you're having some issues with someone who's passive aggressive.
I think sometimes you really need that in the workplace. Yeah. And Sherre?
And I'm offering the economic vitality assessment to see how well your business is able to thrive amidst anything and against anything.
And MarBeth?
And I'm offering my Miracle Minutes, the 10 Miracle Minutes, that 10 individual videos that you can use to achieve a miracle mindset.
Brilliant. So we have no questions. I've been on I've been keep looking down, and I'm sorry I'm looking down. My assistant was able to make it with us tonight. So as a result, I'm doing this part of it, and I'm not seeing any questions unless people type something in here. At the moment, there is nothing. So no questions so far. So I just want to thank all of you for being here. You are all part of the I Shift Today event. You're going to be helping with the Limitless Prosperity Mastermind, coaching the participants. And we do have a few things I'm going to type into. Let me see, I'm going to put it in here. If you go to intuitiveleadership.com, intuitive leadership.groovecart.com, you will be able to see, whoops, I misspelled that, intuitiveleadership.groovecart.com. You'll be able to go into our cart, and what you will find is the 12 courses that we are building within Intuitive Leadership. They'll be available by November 30th. you can get them all for the price of 7. So you can get all 12 courses for the price of 7, and the price is $11.11 to celebrate today. And it's going to be up through the month of November. You can go in there, you can see all the juicy stuff that we have, and those 12 courses are yours. And for everyone who participates and picks up the package, that bundle, they will also be participating in my Shiftology Lab Mastermind, and that they will get a year's worth of coaching once a month in the Shiftology Lab. So I hope you go in there, you check all that out. In order to access the gifts, please go to intuitiveleadership.com/experts. That will also be in the link below. Intuitive, let me get that in there, leadership.com/experts. Please put that in there and you will be able to access all of the gifts that everyone has offered to you today. And if you would like to join the membership group, it's free membership. Just go to leadershipu.com. So 3 places for you to go to where you can really participate and take advantage early on of some of the stuff that we're doing in Intuitive Leadership. So it's intuitiveleadershipgroovecard.com to get the bundle, Intuitive Leadership /experts for the free gifts, and Intuitive Leadership U for free access to the membership site. So I'm your host, Terry Wildemann, and unless anybody has anything that they would like to close with, anyway, we're all good. Thank you again for being here. I'm thrilled. Intuitive Leadership U has launched. Finally! It's exciting! Yay!
Yay!
Congratulations, Terry.
Congratulations.
So,
Congrats, Terry.
it is.
Great
I'm
night.
just
Great
thrilled.
day.
Okay, I can now breathe
Wonderful.
tonight. I can breathe tonight.
Yay!
Lots of love to everybody. Thank you so
Get a
much
glass
for
of
being here. And I
champagne,
hope
Terry.
you as the audience have learned something from all of our phenomenal experts. To your success and see you next time.
See you all later.